Today on Live Daily News, a fry cook slash garbage man won the presidential election, Prop A is passed for SAISD, and 2 law enforcement agencies are searching for fleeing suspects. I'm James Bellini, and this is Live. We'll get to the news in a minute, but first, the weekend is incoming and you can catch all the collegiate and NFL football action at the ArcLight Bar and Grill inside the Clarion Hotel at 441 Rio Concho Drive. The ArcLight has the largest video wall in West Texas in addition to 20 other flat-screen TVs to keep up with your alma mater, your favorite team, or keep up with all the games for your fantasy team. The ArcLight Bar and Grill also has daily drink specials and specials from the kitchen. The ArcLight Bar and Grill, located inside the Clarion Hotel at 441 Rio Concho Drive in San Angelo. Starting things off, a McDonald's fry cook, then garbage man, now the 47th President of the United States. In today's early morning hours, the 2024 presidential election was called for Donald Trump, who returned to the White House after Joe Biden's term. Trump swung North Carolina, Pennsylvania, Wisconsin, and Georgia, and while there are still votes out there, Trump did hit the 270 electoral votes needed to become president. It is being reported that Vice President Kamala Harris has called Trump to concede. Trump is expected to take office on January 20th, 2025. Into local election, Proposition A has passed with 59% of the vote to 41% against it. A total of 19,762 voters voted for Prop A, whereas 13,801 voted against. According to SAISD Board President Dr. Taylor Kingman, it is not a tax increase. It raised the maintenance and operation rate by 3 cents, but SAISD has reduced the interest and sinking rate by 3 cents. This adds about $6 million in revenue that will partly go to teacher salaries. Go watch Dr. Kingman at the ArcLight Bar and Grill speak with Joe Hyde and Yantis Green on SanDroLive.com. Have you downloaded the SanDroLive mobile app yet? It's free and it's the best app in the business. Download off the Apple App Store or the Google Play Store. Stay up to date with news in San Angelo. And 2 local law enforcement agencies are searching for fleeing suspects. The first is 59-year-old Otis Babb, who the Sonora Police Department are searching for after he allegedly crashed his vehicle near the intersection of 397 and Interstate 10. Babb is a white man who was last seen wearing a red long-sleeve shirt, blue jeans, a black cap, and has a long red beard. If you spot Babb, call the Sutton County Sheriff's Office at 325-387-2288. Also, the Tom Green County Sheriff's Office is asking the public for help in finding 30-year-old Landon Beatty, who is also a white man with a neck and face tattoo. His last known addresses are 3554 Clearview Drive and 207 Milton Street in San Angelo. He is wanted after a short pursuit. In the weather, we could have some rain on the horizon, but right now it's 80 degrees outside with a high of 81 and a low tonight of 51. Tomorrow we have about a 70% chance of rain, and then the high will be 72, and then tomorrow night the low is 56, with the storm chances increasing from 80 to 90% with thunderstorms. On Friday, those storms continue with about 70% in the morning, and that drops about 40% in the afternoon, and then to around 20% Friday night. The high Friday will be 69, and the low Friday will be 41. When we come back, we'll have Hector Guevara at his press conference, and then August Pfluger talks with Joe Hyde and Yantis Green at the ArcLight Bar and Grill. But first, a word from the Bass Bunch.
$59,999 for a new Ford Expedition XLT. Get a full-size 3-row seating SUV for the family that needs a lot of room. Equipped with a moonroof, second-row captain seats, along with many more features, make it the absolute perfect SUV. You can only get deals like this at Jim Bass Ford, Houston Hart and Arden Road, or shop 24/7 at bassbunch.com, or use this QR code. Yep, the one on my shirt.
Alrighty, Coach, obviously a tough matchup last weekend with a tough result. If you could just kind of give us your thoughts.
You know, we were clicking pretty good early. Defensively, we struggled a little bit. We actually played pretty good early defensively. We had an unfortunate pass interference in the first drive that led to one of their touchdowns. Overall, I mean, their hurry-up offense, I thought they gave us a little hiccup, but I thought we adjusted well. Boys played well. We got cold in the second half. As far as offensively, we kind of just sputtered a little bit, and we couldn't recover. But I was proud of the boys, their effort, and their never quit attitude. So unfortunate that we lost by 7, but we did have a chance at the end to tie it up, and just fell short.
Yeah, next week, or this week rather, you travel to Andrews, defending district champs. They definitely run heavy offense.
Yeah, they run the ball, and so we got to definitely prepare for that. And the thing with that, they run the ball so much that they'll catch you sleeping, throwing the ball. So and that's hard for any team to prepare. So, and they do a good job, so we got to do our best and be sound.
On the other side of the ball, how do you feel about the way that your offense matches up with Andrews' defense?
Offensively, I think we match up well. I think we can make some things happen. We just got to take what they give us, and definitely they'll be ready for us. So we just got to adjust as we go.
Going into the last game of the season, how do you specifically yourself feel just about this entire season as a whole and kind of everything that you guys have gone through as a team?
It definitely has its ups and downs. Frustrating. We had opportunities to win multiple ball games. Fell short. We grew a lot as a unit. It shows their character and not giving up and be resilient throughout every ball game. So, it's been tough for all of us, but we got to stay focused and stay sharp and continue to move forward.
What can you take from this season into next?
That the never quit attitude, and the togetherness, and just understand that we all got to work together and get it done.
Yeah, and you already got a playoff spot locked up. Are you just anticipating, waiting for that playoff moment for these guys?
Yeah, I think it'll be a great experience. But right now we're just going to focus on Andrews, and that's our job this week.
I was going to ask individually about Isaiah Rios at running back, and just how you feel about the way he's kind of stepped up with some of the injuries you had, with the way he stepped up for you.
Isaiah's a good athlete, man, and we knew that he could jump in and get it done. He stepped in when we needed him, and he's done a great job. We're proud of him, and hopefully we get to see more of him throughout the year, and he gets to come back next year, so we're excited for that too.
Yeah, Coach, you mentioned kind of the offense going through sputtering a little bit last week. Kind of what are some things that you think can kind of get your team out of that rut?
I don't know if I call it so much of a rut, but we just can't have that, when we need it. And so in those moments in the game that we just got to get that urgency going and understand that we got to execute.
It's hard to believe how reckless some people can be and how hard they fight against real victims. You need a partner who consistently beats the Giants and who will never, ever flinch.
Well, welcome back. I'm Joe Hyde with San Angelo Live, and this is our update number. Yantis, what are we on, 5?
4 or 5.
4 or 5. We don't even know because we're just going all night until either Trump wins, Kamala wins, or 2 a.m., whichever one, because last call is 2 a.m. But we're joined today, this second to last or last live stream with Congressman August Pfluger, who is a Republican congressman, represents CD 11, Congressional District 11, that spans from Killeen all the way through San Angelo, all the way to Midland, Odessa. Did I get that right?
You got it. That's right. Thanks for having me.
Yeah. So, August, you've been kind of part of the Republican resurgence, I guess you want to call it. 100 bills you've passed, or you've proposed. You've written 100 pieces of legislation in basically 3 years. Will you say that?
Yep, that's exactly right.
Have anyone become law?
We have. We've had several become law, but one of the reasons that has happened is because we had majority of the House. We had the Speaker.
Right.
We're able to take control of the floor and get our agenda passed, and that's really important. So yeah, we're active. 100 pieces of legislation, but you can write all the legislation you want, but you got to get it across the finish line, which we've done.
One of the big money guys, I travel all over your district, right? So one of your big money guys say, well, we hired August to get up there and raise hell. And so a lot of your legislation really is to protect the oil and gas industry. And you're the one that came out with this Midland, not Moscow. Remember that, when they were buying oil from Moscow, buying oil from Russia? And so a lot of the legislation you passed, is to, I guess, shame the Democrat administration about protecting lizards and not jobs.
Let me rephrase it. I would say that the legislation we are proposing and will pass when Donald Trump is president is to protect the American people from an overreaching government, from a government that wants to tell you what kind of car to drive, that you can't have a gas stove,
Right.
And that you don't need oil and gas, that you need Chinese batteries in
Right.
your house. So that's the kind of thing that we're trying to do, which is fighting an overreaching, egregiously acting government.
And what do you think the other piece of it is this open border, which has impacted Congressional District 11 in a big way?
Well, it certainly has. It started several years ago when we had 700 plus kids that were dumped into Midland.
Remember that they had a facility. They used an old shutdown facility that was
a man camp.
Yeah.
Oil and gas facility.
Yeah.
They
So
didn't
that was
call anybody in the city.
And that's interesting because we had the man camps because we had the big oil boom from 2015 to 16. Remember, it kind of then went crashed for a little bit, and we emptied the man camps. So they go find one and they fill it with illegal immigrants.
Right.
And it's like taking those were jobs in the man camp, and we replace them with illegal immigrants who are on welfare, basically.
So you start with that. You go to the Tambunga family that lost a 71-year-old grandmother, the 7-year-old granddaughter, because an illegal immigrant was driving 15 people in the back of his truck at 100 miles an hour, evading law enforcement, and hits these innocent people, kills them instantly. And our district has felt
that happened in Crockett County down in Ozona.
That's right.
Right there at access road to I-10, the main drag going through town.
But we felt the negative effects of this administration. So to say we're excited about election night and about the results that we're starting to see come in, places like Ohio, obviously we're waiting on numbers in Pennsylvania.
Right.
But we're very excited about the trends we're seeing for the White House right now.
So how big do you think? Yantis has his editorial out where he talks about the reason why Trump's winning is because he's been able to build a larger coalition than he did back in 2020.
And I basically called it a landslide is what I'm predicting. And the reason is because he owns the party. It's his Republican Party. And beyond that, he saw that he needed numbers outside of the party. So when he got the Elon Musk, who would reach, he's going to get us back to the moon, and the guy's getting,
Mars. He's going to Mars
with satellites, and he does make the electric cars, but he's going back to the moon. And that's the kind of guy that's going to get voters who are not necessarily Republicans. It's bringing in more people.
I think you're right. And Trump is in touch with what everyday Americans are feeling, what we are thinking, we think, well, I wish that I could say that. Well, Trump says it.
Yeah.
Right.
And he expresses it in a way that working class Americans say, yes, I'm tired of the government telling me what to do. I'm tired of prices being too high. I just want to raise my family. And he has brought out people who haven't voted before in a lot of different places. He's bringing people, Hispanic Americans, Black Americans, white Americans, it doesn't matter, working class people that just want to live in a free country. He's bringing them to the polls.
And one of the things I wrote about was these massive rallies. I mean, he's circumventing the traditional media. And if you watch these rallies, and it hit me when he was in Madison Square Garden, he's very articulate, very positive, and he goes through those very points. I'm just like you, and I'm listening to you, and let's do the things you want done. And when you listen to him, you think, well, of course he's going to win because he's one of us.
Right.
And he did he brought in the Tulsi Gabbard, and also Robert Kennedy Jr. Brilliant moves that nobody else could have done. And I love Nikki Haley and I love Ron DeSantis, but they would not have thought outside the party and been able to do that because they're simply not Donald Trump.
Yeah, he has been effective for that reason. When he came to Midland, and I welcomed him. My wife and I were able to welcome him on the tarmac. The thing he said when he stepped foot on the Midland-Odessa International Airport was drill, baby, drill. Because he understands that we are giving away our power, literally, to Russia, to China, to Venezuela, to Iran. And he says, let's do it here. Let's build things here. Let's produce things here. Let's bring the economy back here. Let's produce energy in the United States of America and benefit ourselves, not only economically, but as a source of a tool of national security.
I think Trump's been right on the energy policy because, when you outsource jobs to China, and let's say you can get cheap labor, but your energy costs are through the moon, that makes us competitive.
That's right.
Very competitive.
And he understands what West Texas has meant to him. The policies that he had in 2017 to 2020 gave him a tool where he was able to deter aggression from Iran, deter aggression from Russia, deter aggression from China.
And if you remember,
use that as a tool.
You remember back in 2019, we were energy interdependent. We were exporting energy.
We were exporting more than we were importing. We were the #1 producer in the world. Our economy was on all 8 cylinders. Prices were low. Families were successful. Businesses were humming along. And then we had COVID. And everything after that changed. When Joe Biden took over, he made it worse. He made everything worse because he restricted the production of energy. And Trump told me, drill, baby, drill. He knows what it means to be strong. He's a businessman. He's going to make good decisions for our country.
So about 6 months ago, my gut was telling me that Trump was going to win. My brain was saying, no, he's not going to win. I went with my gut because right before COVID, San Angelo Live was in a major expansion, and we were getting into live music events, and we were looking at, Yantis remember this, we were looking at maybe doing some Texas music things and things like that. And then COVID happened, and I just shut it all down and became like, all I did was sell to the government, basically. That's what I did. And it makes you lazy, and you just I just sat back and basically cruised. And about 6 months ago, I said, I got to get busy, because you only have one life to live, right?
That's right.
So that's why I invested in things like this place. And I invested in, expanding into Lubbock, thinking that Trump was going to win, he's going to turn the economy around. And in 2016, I remember on the day after Trump won, or let me say before then, it was the worst year I ever had in business. And I've been an entrepreneur for a long time. It was the worst year. You go to try to sell advertising to a potential client, they have a long face. Their horns are sawed off, and they don't have any fangs showing, and they don't want to do anything. They're just sitting back, hoarding their cash, if they had any, right? The day after, and I guess I'll tell you, Mark Priest at Legend Jewelers was my barometer, because beforehand he was like, no, I ain't going to do anything. I'm just going to cruise along here, thinking Hillary was going to win. The day after I went to see him, he said, man, my phone is, I can't get off the phone. People are calling me nonstop. I'm selling stuff. It was like a switch turned on.
Because people know that he's going to unleash our economy.
Right.
Look, here's what's at stake tonight, and this is what I'm watching for. Is when you look at places like Pennsylvania and Ohio, Wisconsin, and Michigan, these are states that produce things. These are manufacturing states, the Rust Belt of America. We're bringing manufacturing out of China back to the United States. But because of government overreach, because of a regulatory environment that stifles production and innovation and all those things, we haven't been able to expand. Prices are still high. Trump is going to cut government regulations. He's going to allow people to invest in advertising, to invest in building things. In San Angelo, Texas, we're going to build things here.
We're going
to continue to build and innovate do things.
We sit in such a great position in San Angelo because we're in the catbird seat looking over the Permian. And the thing is, the more people we have working in the Permian, more people we have making more money, working overtime, making more and more in their hours, they'll come back and they'll buy a Ford from Jim Bass Ford.
That's right. And they'll live here.
Yes.
And their kids will go to school here.
Right.
And they will open small businesses. Their spouses will do certain things here. Our economy, our country can be so strong. But let me tell you, we live in a dangerous world. And you know this as well as I do, being an Air Force pilot, that we've got adversaries out there just waiting to pounce when they see the weakness that Joe Biden and Kamala Harris have brought to us. So I'm praying tonight that we get that 270 number eclipsed, that we can call this thing tonight, that we can move into the next era where we deter our enemies and where we actually celebrate Americans who want to do the right thing, that want to live in this country, start businesses, and raise their families. That's what I'm excited about tonight.
That's well said. And one of the other things that he talks about is the possibility of mass deportation, of fixing the border and fixing immigration. You have any clue what that might look like? What that process would be?
Almost 10 million people have come into this country illegally that we know about.
Right.
300 plus have matched the terror watch list. Tens of thousands are gang affiliated. The deaths of many Americans have been attributed to this fact. But more than that, we've had a deconstruction of the rule of law. President Trump understands that it starts at the border. You have to enforce the laws. They have not done that. Mayorkas, I was part of the impeachment team.
Yep.
And this will go down as the worst cabinet in the history of our country. The least qualified, the least honest, the least transparent, and the worst cabinet that we've ever had. We've got to get back to business people, to military expertise, to those that have transparent and patriotic feelings. Yes, President Trump is serious about deportations. He is serious about enforcing the law at the border. Our safety, our survival, and the existence of our country depends on that.
You know, the last thing I'll say that one of the main reasons why we need to elect Trump is that if Kamala Harris, whoever controls her, wins, what happens to Elon Musk and X and the free speech we've been able to
Suppression
have?
of free speech is everywhere. We know that that's going to continue.
And you know, everyone that's in this audience has probably had the threat, or if not been in Facebook jail for saying the wrong thing.
What kind of country is this?
Nobody wants to be school-marmed to death, you know?
Well, I'm proud to serve in the House on the Energy and Commerce Committee where we deal with these things. I've just written Google the third letter asking them to answer certain questions and Meta on why they're suppressing information, why they're biasing their algorithms to one ideology, or in away from conservative thought.
And
this is important.
And people see that. You know, you see that.
But they've accepted. A lot of people just accepted it.
We're not accepting it anymore.
A lot of people just accepted, said this is the way it is. I'm just going to stay away from it.
Listen, if we don't have control of the House, and I'm watching this very closely tonight, having the ability to call these hearings, to do the oversight, to write the letters, that goes away.
Yeah.
All of that goes away. This is really important tonight. I've fought very hard for members from New York to California. I've been on the campaign trail. I've fundraised for these guys and gals. We're watching Iowa and Nebraska, New York and California, everywhere in between. But it's going to come down to the wire. I'm still optimistic at this point in time.
Watch the House. Watch the House and the Senate. What about in the Senate? Michigan and Kerry Lake in Arizona. I don't know how they're doing. I guess Arizona returns are probably not in there.
We're neck and neck in Michigan right now.
Are they?
They've called the Senate, so we do have a majority in the Senate.
Okay.
With West Virginia and Ohio being called.
Okay.
North Carolina is a win for the presidency. So things are trending in the right direction, but Michigan is still on the table. Then this would be great, to win that, to win Arizona, as you said, with Kerry Lake. But again, the scenario where you might win the Senate and the White House but not have the House.
Yeah. Then
think about what they did to President Trump twice. They impeached him twice on a sham of a trial.
Not taking care of the people's business, instead going to sham impeachments.
Right. So thank you all for getting the message out. Thanks for the support from the Concho Valley and everywhere around San Angelo. We've got it right here. This is the best district in the entire country. We produce more energy. We have more farmland and ranch land, and we have military bases that keep us safe, which is why I love going to Washington, D.C. and representing this district, because it's just American strength. This is strength.
That's right here. Yeah. Well, August Pfluger, thank you for coming on. And, the thing is, last year or 4 years ago, I went to sleep thinking that things were going to be okay.
Right.
And I woke up and things weren't okay.
Yeah.
So I'm not going to sleep.
Well, Joe, thanks for watching for us.
Hey, man, we'll see you on the as soon as we have some good news.
Good to see you.
Thank you for coming on.
Thank you.
And I'm Joe Hyde, San Angelo Live. This is Yantis Green, my co-host. This is Congressman August Pfluger from Congressional District 11 in Texas. And this is San Angelo Live, broadcasting live from the ArcLight Bar and Grill inside the Clarion Hotel at 441 Rio Concho.
When it comes to unique pieces you can't find anywhere else, Kano's Diamonds and Coins is your one-stop shop. With over 24 years in the diamond and coin industry, Kano's Diamonds and Coins is West Texas's choice for diamonds, jewelry, coins, silver, and gold. Owner Bill Kano stands by his work and offers free consultations, including estate jewelry. Don't just trust anyone with your valuables. Come see the staff at Kano's at 1016 West Beauregard in San Angelo.
Thank you for watching the Live Daily News Show, the only locally owned news show in the Concho Valley. Go like us on Facebook, X, and other social media platforms, and download the San Angelo Live mobile app to stay up to date with news from in and around the Concho Valley. Thanks again, and we'll see you